Look where we are. We've made it far. The overgrowth is breaking apart. Step by step, don't rush ahead. Winter's kind. She gives you breath. Rain will come. For now you're numb. Take my hand. Keep looking up.
Round of 16. TY, Bunny, Hurricane, DRG, GSL Season 1, Code S. Africa TV, Freak Up Studio, live. LG Ultra Gear and Hot 6, 2021, GSL Season 1.
What is up? We're back already in the winners match here. Two players. I mean, I personally didn't think we're going to be fighting against each other, especially Bunny. Who is the favorite out of these two guys?
Hurricane and Bunny?
I think Hurricane.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
They're like, actually, in my brain, they're like almost exactly the same skill. I actually think Hurricane maybe is just a tiny bit stronger, but Bunny knocked out stats and now just killed TY, so I don't know.
I mean, the weird thing is, Bunny did beat TY, but the games were all extremely unusual, right? I mean, I guess TY kind of shot himself in the foot with a bad drop and then followed it up with a push that probably wasn't going to work. It was held, and then he was auto-turreted down. Mm-hmm. But I feel like that's TY playing poorly. I mean, props to Bunny for winning, but kind of an unusual set of games. And then the DRG and Hurricane games were also kind of weird.
Those were kind of bad. DRG was completely unready game one for the attack from Hurricane, and then game two, what he was doing wasn't a thing.
We still don't understand what exactly the game plan was from DRG. I mean, it's just
he did several things well. Like he droned well. His very beginning opening, like +1 melee against Stargate. Yeah, no, I like that. That's good, right? Getting the Baneliness. Okay, yeah, no problem here. Getting Roach Horn, making some Roaches and Ravagers. Okay, yeah. Going into 2-2, very late Hive, and then just making a bunch of units and attacking when Hurricane has not been harassed at all and has built exactly the army he wants. That part doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I just don't know what he was doing out there, what the plan was, or what kind of – maybe he thought he could counterattack with that army as the push came up, and then the push actually came to him. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. It felt like he wanted to attack, and then, of course it didn't work, and then Hurricane just like, I guess I'll kill you, and that was it.
And I know we're talking about the two losers and how they played, but that's what makes it harder for us to kind of decide who's really in better shape right now to take this. The person who wins is the first player to advance to the round of 8. That's huge.
Yeah.
Especially in a group with TY and DRG.
Well, this is supposed to be the easy group, too.
For those guys, yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane. If I had to pick somebody, I'd say maybe Hurricane. He's looking pretty strong. But Bunny is winning upset after upset after upset.
He is.
And this,
it's so strange. Like, I don't think that it can continue. Like, him versus Hurricane, anything can happen. But, like, the games against Stats and then the games against TY, there is definitely a bit of luck involved there. It wasn't like, wow, Bunny is mechanically better than them, or wow, he's microing better, or even wow, he has better strategies. He has brought good strategies, and he has played well, but it's, I feel like this is, he's like, this is peak Bunny we're watching right now, right?
I mean, you know what it makes me think of? It makes me think of the player Deer in his first season where he kept winning, and you and I on breaks would be like, whoa, man, that's kind of wild. I wonder how far he's going to go. And
I remember you said, wouldn't it be weird if this no-name Protoss named Deer wins the tournament?
Yeah, imagine saying Deer the champion, and then he did win. But I'm kind of having those vibes with Bunny where I'm in disbelief each step of the way, and maybe, you know, I'm going to look back on this and be like, no, man, Bunny played an ingenious series and came out on top, you know, series after series. Let's find out. Different matchup, PVT this time. Against a very different player, Hurricane. Map 1 is going to be on Deathaura. Hurricane versus Bunny. Let's get this thing going.
...2021 GSL Season 1.
We stood at the edge of the world, seized the stakes. We're living a life
Hurricane. Team NV, Bunny.
All right. Let us see.
Yeah, Bunny sending an SCV out here, going around up towards the top. And what's he going to throw, an eBay down here?
He might, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, this is semi-popular. We don't see it every game by any means, but it can throw the Protoss off a little bit, right? They have their very tight build order that they want to hit, and then as soon as they see that, it's like, okay, make a Zealot, make a second Pylon. Here we go. Kind of luckily for Hurricane, he's already started the Cyber, so I think that this version of the Expand is actually a little bit better against that. Look how high health he got that, though. That is going to take a while to knock down.
It's so strong. This is actually one of the oldest ideas in StarCraft, is the eBay thrown down to block a building. It's weird because it's like, they started in StarCraft 1 and it's not as common, but then it became more common later on. But the idea, because the eBay is so cheap, you just plop it down. You can cancel without the SCV needing to be there. And it builds extremely fast. The eBay has to build quickly because, you know, there's units like DTs in the game where this thing has to be made at a certain pace, right, to get it out. And it's a funny way that Terran, there's not many other things that Terran can do like this. This almost looks like something a Protoss could do, like make a building there and block something and then dictate the way the game goes. But it does happen with eBays in some matchups in StarCraft 1 and 2. And this is one of the matchups that can happen in StarCraft 2 is the eBay block here. To delay the Nexus.
Yeah, and he will go ahead and delay it, but there's this proxy starport being made. Hurricane did go for a center gate as well, so he'll be putting on some pressure, but there's no command center, right? So it feels like it should be something that can be held here by Bunny. Definitely a very strange first game, though. Looks like a Hellion drop is the order here from Bunny. Sending out those first two Hellions.
Okay. As the game goes on, we got to watch for what exactly is going to be the role with the starport if the Protoss is actually putting pressure on here. It makes sense the Protoss would want to have some counter pressure coming in over here. The Hellions are going to go around. Now, this is going to be a pretty open main base. I mean, there's one Marine here. There's not a lot Terran can do to fight back. There's a wall in for the Terran, so we can at least stop the progress of the push coming in over there. But it should be pretty clear when the Hellions left like that there's going to be a drop in coming here. And this is already kind of looking like a pretty weird game to start things off.
It definitely is a pretty weird game. One Hellion gets up, the force field going to block the rest, but Medevac going to fly them up. Now, all these units in that main base, he's going to lose a lot of probes, I would say.
I think so. He needs to make some more of these shots connect. Ooh. Let's see. He's actually...
7?
It's kind of crazy. He's
I thought
actually
he was going to get a bit more than that.
Yeah. Terran was for a second there double supply blocked, but this attack is continuing here.
Yeah, still has several units. The SCV is going to come out and help. He does go for a recall.
Yep,
and
just
we'll
saves the Stalker.
Okay, so who came out on top there?
I feel like I feel like the Terran is a little bit more hiccuped there, losing the depots. I mean, he's going to get the command center landed over here. Actually, I'm not even sure now. I don't know.
I think Bunny came out slightly ahead after that. It kind of
yeah.
feels that way to me because we don't really have good tech for Hurricane yet. He is going Dark Shrine, so I mean, obviously that can switch things around, but just look at the SCV count. It's close enough that I like it for Bunny, right? I always expect in an even game for Protoss to be upworkers a little bit.
It looks like the Terran's going to get the first attack that's going to come out here. And let's see how Hurricane's able to deal with it. He has some Stalkers here. I'm not sure what's up north of this besides the 3 Stalkers. There's definitely going to be stuff at his natural, but he actually chases the medevac away, which is pretty big. Also, if he can take this pylon out before the Dark Shrine finishes, that would help out as well.
Oh,
because
yeah,
I'm sure
that's pretty big.
Yeah, I'm sure that was the launching pad for the DT warping.
Yeah,
that's now been shut down.
Oh man, walking them all the way across the map is so much worse. Ooh, nice move there from Bunny. He does have a Raven coming out as well, so it doesn't seem like the DTs are going to be all that strong. Very exciting watching this Gateway die.
This is my favorite part of this game, is watching the Gateway get blown up.
Is he going to get it?
I think, well, who knows? We'll have to wait until we go back there and find out for sure. So the Warpin's going to come instead from the Warp Prism. I guess it wasn't a big deal. Actually, that pylon was killed. But let's see what this drop.
All right, the mine not really getting the connection it hopes for.
Yeah, pretty good pull away there. Now that DT's inside the base. Oh, Terran is so ready for this. That DT will barely get away. Do you make another DT and try to go for Archon drops, or what is the plan, really? I guess you're kind of forced to go for Archons or no matter what, right?
Yeah. Archon drops against Terran, I do like them. They can be a little bit risky with the Raven in there. You see a lot of, like, bluffing with them. I think he's going to do it, because why wouldn't you? But if you do screw up and lose that, like, you already went DT tech, so you are going to be in terrible shape.
Yeah, a loss is much more guaranteed if you do end up losing the War Prism and the 2 Archons. So there's a third DT that needs to be made, or second DT needs to be made, excuse me, to make that into an Archon.
A couple Hellions sent up through the map. A couple Stalkers going to catch them, though. Force them back.
Not a bad catch.
And there is that additional DT. So, yeah, that Archon drop gun be coming in. Those Archons definitely an important part of this strategy, as well as that Warp Prism. Does have an Immortal out, really importantly. You know, when you do some of these DT openers, your army is just a little bit softer than normal.
Yeah, you can do a lot of damage, but DTs really can't fight, like head-to-head. They're extremely weak. I'm sorry, did he just lose the Warp Prism?
He can't have.
No, I don't see it anywhere. And I saw something explode. I think he lost that. I think he flew over a turret.
God.
Pretty bad play, to be honest with you.
If he lost the Prism, like, I guess he was looking elsewhere. You're right,
I mean,
he did lose it.
He
You're
did
right.
save the Archons, but which I guess it's not. I mean, that's the best you can get out of a complete misplay like that.
They are more important. They're worth more than the Prism, but yeah, that's rough. Like, it wasn't there only a turret there, so.
I guess he had it right-clicked there, or maybe it got wound up in another hotkey group, and
possibly. Okay, well, he's remaking the Prism. Bunny has that third base up. Looking pretty good for Bunny so far this game. I do like his spot a lot better than Hurricane's.
Okay, here comes that push now. Yeah, Hurricane has had a couple hiccups so far, and this is absolutely a softer tech against a Terran push compared to, like, oh my God!
Oof. Nothing in it, but yeah, that hurts.
No, I mean, I don't know what's happening with Hurricane right now. He's going to unpower this pylon here, and that's going to be pretty helpful because he can probably pick this up and then come in with a push later on. He wants to get to the edge.
Yeah, he is bringing up that push, actually, towards the natural right now.
Yeah, here we go. Going to target down this Immortal.
Man.
The Archon is behind, actually. The Immortal does live. I think he kind of overextended here with this attack. He picks up there. Doesn't lose any of the medevacs in all the fights that we saw back there.
Kind of an interesting disable. A little counterattack comes in from Hurricane. Deal a little bit of damage, kills a tank, a couple SCVs. Maybe not exactly what he was looking for, though.
So now, Terran can gather up, and even though Protoss holds that, I'll tell you what, man. I think that the next push is going to be even stronger. Protoss lost enough of the important units. I'm worried, actually, in general, about just the way Hurricane's controlling everything. Like, it just seems like he's not really handling any of the fights very well. And this is simply put a bigger army. Protoss is going to have superior tech. The Raven should have a disable, right?
Yeah,
I think
he
he
did
does.
use one in the previous attack, but
Yeah.
okay, he actually uses the anti-armor here.
Oh, okay. I thought he was going to go for the Colossus. I guess the Colossus was in a spot you couldn't quite hunt down. But again, another big victory. All he's got to do is inch in either to this area up here or to the right of it.
His army looks so much stronger. It's actually kind
Yeah.
of crazy. Force fields might be the only thing that's going to keep him alive here if he is going to live through this.
Yeah, well, this might... Oh, I don't see any force fields just yet. He's going to blink forward here. The tanks are shelling out a lot of damage over here. The Archon should fall. And from there, it's just going to be the Colossus and a couple of Stalkers. That's it. GG. Bunny takes game one. The Bunninator.
No, that's just kind of,
I can't believe this.
he really outdid him there.
Is Bunny the next Terran Banjois?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy for him. He continues to deliver. You know, I like the eBay block. The Hellion harassment did reasonably well. He held on against the counter-aggression 2-gate pretty well overall. Feels like he did play better than Hurricane, but Hurricane, it didn't feel like he played particularly well there. I think he got thrown off and didn't quite... Maybe he's a Protoss that really needs his plans to go how he wants them.
That can happen. Some of these builds, Protoss, or even some of the other races where you're doing something very specific and there's a series of sequences you have to pull off in order to make that exciting, aggressive build work. If it backfires, one or two times in that sequence, you could be totally thrown off. Map 2 is ready. Let's see what happens on Oxide.
2021 GSL Season 1.
We stood at the edge of the world. Seize the stakes. They're living a life like
Hurricane. Team NV. Bunny.
Where was his oil spill? He didn't get
That's
the
why
oil
he's
spill
getting out.
wreath?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The gasoline on a sunny day.
Well, the shape
Coloring.
of it, they switched the camera earlier in the last match a
Yeah.
little bit too early, and then the wreath was actually like around one of the pro gamer heads, and all I could think is like this is like Oil Caesar over here.
Yeah. That guy's got to go fight Captain Planet. So we've got the eBay coming down again.
Yeah, doing that twice in a row.
It's not broken, don't fix it. Got to go up with that same opener. Not that even the opener was really what put him in that position. Not all games are like this, but the Terran loss did seem to... Sorry, the Terran win, excuse me, did seem to be partially due to the Protoss, just not controlling well.
He
This
lost
really
two
doesn't...
prisms for free. He didn't block the Hellion drop that well. He blocked it okay. I did think there was going to be a few more pro kills. But
Yeah, well, I mean, we should put emphasis on, it's not just that you lost a Warp Prism. Like, you can lose a Warp Prism in a fight, or you're doing a crazy drop, and you warped in 20 Zealots, and you're committed. It's totally different if you just flew it into a turret.
Yeah, and then flew it into an army the second time.
Now you're like the everyman StarCraft player.
Yeah, that's true.
now you're just one of us when you're doing that, not somebody who's supposed to be playing, but you're... and the fact that happened twice, and look, I mean, the Warp Prism, it's only, I mean, it's cheap, man. But the truth is, the fact that you lost that out of the Robo, it has to be remade. The fact that it's going to be necessary.
Well, just that it's gone off the map for a little bit as well, don't forget.
Yeah, you don't
just
have,
having a prism is scary.
You can at least threaten counterplay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, kind of a big deal to lose that. It's also odd because Hurricane played so well. But look, let's see if he can shake it off and play better in game 2 here.
Yeah. All right, Stargate is being made, and he did get the scout off on that, but then he cancels it as soon as he kills the Reaper and goes for a Twilight. Interesting play here from Hurricane.
Yeah. Let's see where it goes.
Well, you have to defend Oracle, right? Like, you just must. As soon as you see the Stargate, you're like, all right, well, we're going to make sure that the Oracle does not get me, or the Phoenixes. It might make you stay in your base instead of go to a drop, things like that, right? So, yeah, it's definitely a bit of a tricky mind game here from Hurricane.
I like it from Hurricane. I think it's smart. It is funny to see a DT Shrine twice in a row. Here comes the Robo now as well.
That is interesting, isn't it? Because, like, I guess you expect... Some people do turrets in the mineral line, some do them on the fringe to zone out things like Phoenix or like Oracles. But I guess it is more likely to be like in the middle of the line, which the Archon drop will do reasonably well against. Although the DT should be detected, right? Because you kind of expect there to be some anti-air. There should be a turret probably.
Let's see if his War Prism's going to be a little bit better this time around.
Hard to be worse.
Yeah, it's hard for it to be too much worse. Obviously, this is pretty big for both of these guys. I mean, maybe Hurricane can bob DRG again if DRG beats TY, which honestly could happen.
Yes, that's a real possibility.
I mean, the bigger picture here is both these guys were sort of underdogs, you know, compared to the background of the two players they win against. The losers match is going to be maybe the highlight of the night, but definitely, you know, in a best of 3 like this, you want to get out. You're desperate to escape here. Okay, the push comes down, snipes that probe. No third base set up here. War Prism is northbound.
Yeah, there are a couple DTs out. Like, I think he's going to hold this without much problem, right? If you warp in another DT, maybe he can use a scan, but then the DT drop is going to do very well. But this is a scary attack. He is really focusing on that pylon.
Okay, the DT's coming up now. How quick is Bunny going to catch on? Now the DT's here. He's got to decide, does he scan in this attack, or does he scan back home?
That DT, don't you? Or your damage is going to go away right away.
Yeah, now he kills it, but of course you can always have one by one DTs coming in. It looks like for the most part he's held this, but this is so much damage here on Hurricane. Now, does he have another scan? There's going to be a point, I think it might be now, where the scans have dried up.
Yeah, it seems like this should end up clearing the rest of the Marines, but the DT's in the main.
It's 29 probes to 34 SCVs.
What a crazy game. Just about no gas here for Bunny. And I mean, he still has the Prism, which makes this so tough. Yeah, picks him up as the scan comes down. Has to make that turret ASAP.
Protoss is going to squeak out that third base, and this is going to be a ton of gateways thrown down here. We're going to go into the Zealot charge tech. And,
third base and lots of gates.
Yeah.
What do you think the plan is there? Like,
it does seem like he's doing a lot at once, doesn't it?
It
does seem
for
like
how much damage he took, it does.
Or at least it seems like it's a lot of gateways to also be having a third base that's being made, right?
And also being this low in probes. You don't even have a two-base economy right now.
You finished my thought for me, absolutely. I mean, this is not enough probes to properly support 3 bases. You need to... So I don't know. I'm not sure if it's because Hurricane in the Chaos didn't spend his money as he wanted to, which is possible because when you have DTs like that, you really have to babysit each one. But yeah, it does seem to be a build going in a lot of different directions at once. And if he's going to keep making probes, support as many gates as he can while doing that, while filling up the third base, does Terran have an opportunity, maybe with a more balanced approach, to maybe push this?
Well, yeah, who is actually going to be ahead here? Bunny's economy is better despite that third Nexus being up on location.
Yeah.
The tech is better for Bunny as well, honestly, because like this is not. There's just not a lot going on
Dude,
for Hurricane.
he got that pylon. Oh. Okay, he's going to come in here, going for probes, which is perfectly fine as well.
Yeah, Hellion goes over, sees that third base. Look at this, just the small warp-ins. He's going to be able to clear that with this.
Yeah.
Like warping in one zealot at a time is not the way to clear something.
These warp-ins are just too spaced apart. I mean, Terran really killed back there. That's much more than you'd expect. The Archons are coming down here. Again, he's got to be careful. It's possible the Archons are dropped, and then the Raven disables the Warp Prism, and the Archons are stuck there and ultimately are killed. Now, here comes that push. Now, again, for Artosis and me, I think the math is a little bit more fuzzy on this one because the game's been a bit unusual. But
I think Bunny just holds. Like,
I think
can't
so,
imagine
right?
just killing him.
it's a lot of Zealots and Archons, but
It is.
the SimCity's pretty damn good.
Yeah, he has to get through this, which he will, but the high ground is, like, ready for him. Look at that. Brings up those SCVs and stop positions them on top of the Siege Tank. So hard for him to get on top of it. And yeah, with the Siege Tanks on the high ground, he does kill a good amount of SCVs here. Pushes that tank forward. Some damage being done on the fringes.
Yeah, he's pushed in. I feel like this is an overcommitment. Is this actually going to work?
Well, I think he feels like he needs to win here, or at least do a lot of damage. All right, a drop coming into that third base. Nothing really there, and it looks like he's going to push forward now,
right.
dropping his Archon on top of the Siege
The
Tanks.
tank is barely killed. He can't quite get on top of this one tank that's still shelling him out here. Back at home, I mean, there's still damage being done. That's it. Hurricane. What a weird game.
Yeah, well, that was... Both of those were really, really kind of scrappy, crazy games, but Bunny is the one that dictated both of them.
I really don't understand the thought process of attacking the Terran when he's sitting on two bases. I mean, you look at those buildings, and it's, what do you have? You have Zealots and Archons.
Yeah.
Right? That's... Now, obviously, there's Unicomps that fight that, but really what beats that is structures walling areas off, right?
Yeah.
That's really how you stop that, is you make it impossible for, this, particularly the Zealots, to actually connect their attacks. And Archons, they suffer from obstructions as well. So, yeah, I mean, a very odd attack. Oh, we're actually going to go to the interview right now. Go ahead, Andy.
An absolute beast of a performance by Bunny, and he moves on to the round of 8. Congratulations. Thank you. After 2019 Season 1, this is your performance in 2 years. You beat TY, and now you beat Hurricane to move on to round of 8. How do you feel? Well, during preparation, I had so much fun, and the games were so enjoyable. And while preparing for the round of 16, it was so fun to play the games, and I played really hard. And I'm just so happy after winning the 2 players today. So, Bunny, are you saying that the games are enjoyable these days? Well, in the past, I was too desperate to play my games, and I'll feel uncomfortable. And I used to be so stressed out like a day before the games or a week before the games. And now I've regained the confidence in terms of skills. And now I'm trying my best to play my games more in a more enjoyable fashion. Oh, that's good to hear, Bunny. Alright, let's go to the second set. You went for the Cyclone and the Viking. So you went for this composition after you watched Stargate build coming out from the opponent. Well, it's really simple, really. I'm really good at controlling my Cyclone, I think. So I do win my games a lot using Cyclones. And often I used to gain advantage with my Cyclones in my terms of micro. And it was quite dramatic beating TY in the first match. Because TY made his happy group with the players he wanted. But you guys had different builds. So TY went for a proxy and then he lost. And then you went for the proxy build later on. So what was that about? So during preparation, I mainly focused on my macro in the late game. So in my first set, when I lost so easily, you know, then I decided to just go for one proxy match, proxy game,
저도 모르게 일꾼이 나가더라고요.
and you know, without my consciousness, my SCV was just going to the enemy's base without me knowing it.
전태양 선수는 전지 1병형이었는데 똑같이 1병형 정도로 안 하고 그럼 2병형으로 한 이유도
So
있어요?
TY actually went for the one barrack proxy, but you went for the two barracks. What was the reason about it?
제 머릿속에 그 개념이 제가 전진 투병형 사신을 하면은 상대가 전진 어떤 걸 하든 예를 들어 막
In my head,
불공을 하든 뭘 하든
the concept was
이긴다는 생각이 있어가지고
if I opt for the two barracks proxy, I knew that I would win no matter how the opponent reacts to it.
이후 2년 만에 8강입니다.
So again, Bunny, this is your round of 8 in 2 years. You'll be playing against the second seed of Group B.
테란이 나으세요? 저그가 좋으세요?
Do you prefer playing against Terran or Zerg? Of course, it's Zerg.
테란도 괜찮은 것 같아요.
I mean, a Terran is fine.
그러니까 2등이랑 만나니까 상대가 꼭 1등으로 진출해서
So I'm playing against the second seed of Group B, so I'm probably not going to play against Maru, that's for sure.
8강에서 어떤 모습 보여주실지
So how will we
기대되는데요.
see your
마지막
performance in the round of 8,
한마디
Bunny? Before you go, anything you want to say?
부모님 항상 감사드리고
I'm ever grateful to my parents.
도와준 분들에게 정말 감사하고
And thank you for helping me with the
아끼지
streams.
않는 지원해주시고 계신데 감사합니다.
And Team Envy is very supportive of my performance
좋은 모습
as well.
보여드리도록 할게요.
I'll try to deliver a better performance in the next game. Congratulations, thank you.
네, 이렇게
Thank you, Andy.
A조의
Okay, so that is the first conclusion of the night. Is that Bunny advances first out of this group? That's wild, man.
Well, it is Easter, so
it is Easter. That is true.
It makes sense that a bunny would end up winning.
That is actually a very good point. I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah.
Now this makes perfect sense.
Yeah, that kind of explains this group in a nutshell.
Yeah. We're actually going to go to a break right now. When we come back, the next best of 3. Do not go away.